You wake up in the same bed, at the same time, to the same alarm. You shower with the same water temperature, eat the same breakfast, drive the same route to the same job. You have conversations that follow the same patterns with the same people about the same topics. You call me home, sit in the same chair, watch the same type of content, go to bed at the same time. Nothing hurts, nothing challenges you, nothing demands more than you're already giving. You're comfortable, safe, secure, and you're dying inside without even realizing it. Because here's what nobody tells you about comfort. It feels like peace, but it's actually paralysis. It looks like you've figured life out, but you've just stopped growing. You're not resting in comfort, you're rotting in it. Every day that passes in comfortable routine, you're becoming weaker, softer, more fragile. Your capacity is shrinking. Your tolerance for difficulty is diminishing. Your ability to handle anything outside your narrow comfort zone is evaporating. And the worst part is that it happens so gradually, so gently, that you don't notice until you're confronted with something challenging and realize you've lost the strength you once had. You see it in your body. You used to be able to push through physical discomfort, but now a little cold makes you miserable. A skipped meal feels unbearable. A poor night's sleep ruins your entire day. You see it in your mind. You used to tackle difficult problems, learn challenging skills, push yourself intellectually. Now, you avoid anything that requires sustained effort, choosing easy entertainment over demanding engagement. You see it in your relationships. You used to have difficult conversations, work through conflicts, push past surface level connection. Now you avoid anything uncomfortable, surrounding yourself only with people who never challenge you, never push you, never demand your growth. And you're not alone in this comfortable decay. Thousands of people right now, maybe everyone you know, are experiencing exactly this same erosion of capacity disguised as peace. What you're experiencing was identified with brutal clarity by Friedrich Nietzsche, who understood that comfort isn't the reward for struggle. Comfort is the thing that destroys everything. Struggle built. He saw that human beings don't grow through ease. They grow through resistance, through challenge, through the constant confrontation with difficulty that forces expansion. What almost nobody understands is that Nietzsche didn't just observe that comfort prevents growth. He identified why comfort is actually more dangerous than obvious suffering, why the gradual erosion of capacity through ease is worse than dramatic collapse through crises. And he discovered something that will either wake you up or let you continue sleeping. You're not actually comfortable. You're just numb. And that numbness is slowly destroying every capacity that makes you capable of living a meaningful life. Today I'm going to reveal exactly why comfort is the greatest enemy of growth, how it operates to systematically weaken you while making you think you're at peace, and most importantly, what Nietzsche understood about how to break free from comfortable decay before you've eroded all your capacity. But I need you to know what I'm about to share won't let you stay comfortable. Nietzsche's most dangerous observation wasn't about power or morality. It was his recognition that human capacity is use it or lose it, that every ability you don't exercise regularly begins to atrophy, that comfort creates a downward spiral where a reduced challenge leads to reduced capacity, which leads to needing even more comfort, which leads to even less capacity. He saw that comfort isn't a stable state. It's active decay disguised as peace. Consider what happens to your body when you stop challenging it. You don't just stay at your current level of strength and capability. You get weaker. Muscles atrophy. Cardiovascular capacity declines. Flexibility decreases. Your body adapts to the demands you place on it. And when you place no demands, it adapts to that too by becoming less capable. This isn't philosophical abstraction. This is measurable physiological reality. Comfort makes you weaker. But Nietzsche understood that this principle applies to everything about you, not just your body. Your mind atrophies when you stop challenging it with difficult problems. Your emotional capacity declines when you avoid uncomfortable feelings. Your social skills erode when you only interact in comfortable, familiar ways. Your creativity dies when you never push beyond what's easy. Your courage evaporates when you never do anything that scares you. Every single capacity you have, if not regularly challenged, begins to disappear. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche wrote about how the last man blinks and says, "We have invented happiness." And what they call happiness is just the absence of challenge, the elimination of difficulty, the creation of perfect comfort. And Nietzsche saw this as the ultimate human degradation, because humans aren't built for comfort. They're built for growth through struggle. Remove the struggle and you don't get peaceful humans. You get weak, fragile, incapable humans who call their weakness content. Think about your own trajectory. 5 years ago, 10 years ago. What were you capable of that you're not capable of now? Not because you've aged, but because you've gotten comfortable. Could you handle more physical discomfort then? Could you focus on difficult tasks for longer? Could you have harder conversations? Could you take bigger risks? Could you tolerate more uncertainty? For most people, the honest answer is yes. You were more capable then than you are now. Not because anything happened to you, but because nothing happened to you. Comfort happened. And comfort eroded your capacities one comfortable day at a time. Now understand what this means for the life you're living. You think you're being smart by eliminating challenges, by making everything as comfortable as possible, by avoiding difficulty, but you're actually engaged in systematic self-weakening every time you choose the comfortable option over the challenging option. You're making yourself less capable of handling challenge in the future. Every time you avoid discomfort, you're reducing your tolerance for discomfort. Every time you take the easy path, you're making yourself less able to walk difficult paths. You're creating a prison of comfort that gets smaller every day because you're getting weaker every day. Nietzsche identified 3 types of people in relation to comfort and growth. Understanding which type you are will determine whether you continue this comfortable decay or break free into actual aliveness. Type 1 is what Nietzsche called the last man, the person who is optimized entirely for comfort and lost all capacity for growth. The last man doesn't experience comfort as a problem because they've successfully eliminated everything uncomfortable from their life. They've arranged existence to minimize challenge, avoid difficulty, eliminate uncertainty, and they call this wisdom, maturity, having figured out how to live well. But what they've actually done is created a life so small, so constrained, so limited that nothing in it can hurt them because nothing in it is real. You recognize last men everywhere. They never try anything new because new things are They never pursue ambitious goals because ambition creates stress. They never have difficult conversations because conflict is unpleasant. They've optimized for a pleasant routine and called it success. And they look at anyone pursuing growth, anyone embracing challenge, anyone choosing difficulty as foolish, naive, not understanding that the smart thing is to minimize suffering and maximize comfort. Type 2 is the comfortable decliner, the person who has noticed they're getting weaker but keeps choosing comfort anyway. This is probably you. You can feel yourself becoming less capable, less resilient, less able to handle difficulty. You notice you avoid challenges you used to embrace, struggle with discomforts you used to handle easily, feel overwhelmed by things that used to be manageable, and part of you knows you should challenge yourself, should seek difficulty, should break out of comfortable routine. But the comfort is seductive. It feels so much easier to just stay comfortable, to put off growth until tomorrow. To tell yourself you'll start challenging yourself soon, just not today. The comfortable decliner experiences a unique form of suffering. They're aware enough to know they're degrading, but not courageous enough to choose the discomfort that would stop the degradation. So they watch themselves get weaker while doing nothing about it, feeling guilty about their weakness while continuing to choose comfort. They're trapped between the comfort they can't leave and the growth they know they need but won't pursue. Type 3 is what Nietzsche called the ascender, or the person who has recognized that growth requires discomfort and has made the deliberate choice to seek challenge rather than avoid it. The ascender understands that comfort is erosion, that ease is weakness, that every day without challenge is a day of decline. So they actively construct challenges, deliberately seek discomfort, intentionally put themselves in situations that demand more than they're currently giving. Not because they're masochistic, but because they understand that this is the only way to maintain and develop capacity. The ascender has transformed their relationship to discomfort. They don't see challenge as something to be avoided, but as something to be pursued. They don't see difficulty as punishment, but as the price of remaining capable. They've accepted that the choice isn't between comfortable peace and uncomfortable growth. The choice is between uncomfortable growth and comfortable decay. And they've chosen growth because they understand that decay, no matter how comfortable, leads to a kind of death. If you're experiencing the comfortable decline, if you recognize yourself getting weaker while staying comfortable, you need to understand the specific mechanisms that keep you trapped in this pattern. The first trap is confusing comfort with peace. You think you're at peace because you're comfortable, but what you're calling peace is just the absence of challenge. Real peace is internal stability that persists through difficulty. Comfort is external arrangement that protects you from difficulty. One makes you stronger, the other makes you weaker. And you've confused them. The second trap is the gradual nature of erosion. If comfort destroyed you dramatically and quickly, you'd notice and change. But it destroys you so gradually that each day feels fine, each week seems manageable, each month passes without crisis, It's only when you look back over years that you realize how much capacity you've lost. And by then, you've lost so much that the effort required to regain it seems overwhelming. So you stay comfortable and decline further. The third trap is that comfort feels responsible. You tell yourself you're being mature by not taking unnecessary risks, by not putting yourself in challenging situations, by optimizing for stability and security. But Nietzsche saw that what looks like mature responsibility is often just sophisticated cowardice. You're not protecting yourself wisely. You're weakening yourself gradually while calling it prudence. So how do you break free? How do you transform from someone who's comfortable in declining into someone who's growing through challenge? The first phase is accepting that discomfort is the price of capacity. You cannot maintain strength without regularly testing it. You cannot keep skills without regularly challenging them. You cannot stay capable without consistently demanding more of yourself. This isn't optional. This is how human capacity works. Accept it or accept decay. The second phase is deliberately constructing challenges. Don't wait for life to challenge you. Actively seek situations that push your current limits. Physical challenges that require more strength or endurance than you currently have. Intellectual challenges that demand sustained, difficult thinking. Emotional challenges that require you to feel things you'd rather avoid. Social challenges that push you past comfortable, familiar interactions. Every area where you want to maintain or grow capacity, you must regularly challenge that capacity. The third phase is what Nietzsche called amor fati applied to difficulty. You stop resenting challenge and start embracing it. Not because difficulty is pleasant, but because you understand it's necessary. You learn to say yes to hard workouts, to difficult conversations, to challenging projects, to uncomfortable growth, not despite the discomfort, but because of what the discomfort creates. You transform your relationship to struggle from something to avoid into something to pursue. The fourth phase is measuring yourself by capacity rather than comfort. Instead of asking, am I comfortable? You ask, am I capable? Can I do more than I could last month? Can I handle what used to overwhelm me? Am I stronger, more resilient, more able? And you make decisions based on developing capacity rather than maximizing comfort. Knowing that capacity is what actually matters when life inevitably demands more than your current comfort zone allows. Remember that comfortable routine you've settled into? It's not peace, it's decay. Every day you spend in unchallenged comfort is a day you get weaker, less capable, less able to handle anything outside your shrinking comfort zone. You think you're being smart by avoiding difficulty, but you're actually destroying the very capacities that make you able to live meaningfully. Nietzsche warned that comfort is the greatest enemy of growth because he understood that humans are either growing or dying. There is no static maintenance. You're either challenging yourself and developing capacity or you're comfortable in losing capacity, and the comfortable decline feels fine until suddenly you're confronted with real challenge and discover you've become too weak to meet it. Stop for a second and ask yourself, am I stronger, more capable, more resilient than I was a year ago? Or have I gotten comfortable and weaker? If this resonates, comment, I choose growth over comfort. Your words will reach someone else who's been declining comfortably, who needs to wake up before they've eroded all their capacity. Subscribe to the channel for insights that challenge you rather than comfort you. This isn't philosophy for comfortable consumption. This is wake-up fuel for people ready to stop declining and start growing. Comfort is the greatest enemy of growth because it feels like success while actually being systematic failure. It promises peace while delivering weakness. It offers ease while stealing capacity. And you can stay comfortable and keep declining, or you can embrace challenge and start growing. The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. See you in the next dimension.